Yo, what up, guys? It's QB back again with another vid. First off, I want to say I appreciate everyone. These first two vids have been going crazy for someone like me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the comments, the subscribes, the likes, and just like in those comments, keep them coming. If you have any type of ideas when it comes to the game, and whether you feel like I misplayed or you feel like, hey, this is what I'm seeing on my side, it could be better in a different way, feel free to keep shooting those in the comments. I love to continue to learn. And yes, again, we're doing Teach. This is also another video that's not just about Teach. This is also about practicing your good, bad matchups and your medium matchups. For me, when I go into tournaments, I really like to practice every deck under the sun, because you never know what's going to show up when you go to a regional, or for Bandai Card Fest, you don't know what someone cooked up in the lab. And so to have some type of understanding of those decks, to me, gives you a step above the rest. For me, every round matters, and that doesn't mean that if I flip my Teach leader over and they flip a nail, that like I still got to play that as serious as possible, because you don't want to give up a round that you feel like you should have won just based off of percentage spread. But at the end of the day, percentage spread is just a percentage. There still is nothing's 100-0. You can always lose. And so I feel like when I practice, I like to take that into consideration. So today's video, we're going to do two games. We're going to do one with Enel and then that I played like a couple days ago, and then we're going to do one going over Rayleigh, which is going to be a slight unfavorable in the matchup percentages right now. I think it's like a 60-40 they're favored. And what really I want to talk about is my thought process going into those games, and how my thought process has to adapt within those games if an opponent plays a strategy that isn't what I believe to be the standard strategy. So this is the list that's kind of going through both videos. I think in one list I'm still playing 6-cost Kuzan. I'm not really sure what I cut out for that at the point in time. I think I cut one Tempest Kick for 6-cost Kuzan, but this is the list that I played in those videos. And if you're like, hey Quentin, like this is different than the list you played in the last video, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My list changes every day. Every day I scroll on Twitter and people say a new deck is the best deck. I try to adjust, try and see what limits my deck can play. There are times I play no Shiru to see how my deck does against Rayleigh. There are times I play one Shiru to see how my deck does against Rayleigh, or I'll play like 6-cost Kuzan multiple to see how that does against Rayleigh and Zoro, and play against my local individuals with Kuzan, or all these matchups. Like I just want to see how these ratios can change. What can I fit in so that I feel comfortable going into nationals at the end of the day? And so let's get into the games. So the first game, like I said, we want to talk about Enel. So my first thought when I play Enel is they're usually going to starve me. And so in this, I'm looking for the fields. I'm looking for stage. Stage is probably one of the most important cards when you are getting starved, because it allows you to find Kuzan, find all your pieces, but especially in these type of matchups, find your 10-cost teaches. Really, you want to have probably like two 10-cost teaches in this matchup, and really the Bonnie matchup. I think that's when playing above 3 is really, playing 3 10-cost teaches can really help. But in this matchup, I'm really just looking for stage. But my hand, this is my starting hand. I'm mulligan, this is the hand I'm playing with. And this is also like, I understand this is an 80-20, and y'all are like, Quentin, why are you showing this? And I'm like, it's a free matchup. You have to be able to adjust. And like, if I don't practice this matchup, especially with the way Enel's being built now in OP12, and I don't know if this individual is playing those new cards, but like I have to build that into my mentality so that when I sit down at a tournament, I know what to expect, and how the tempo of the game's gonna go. So I go ahead and start. I go ahead and burn Tempest Kick. It's just not gonna be live with the way my hand is, and like at the end of the day, I need to find stage as fast as possible. So I get my era, use my era. Kuzan's my only option. I go ahead and take that. He's turn, he is thinking what he wants to do. So in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get starved. Pretty standard. I probably have a decent amount of time to find stage. No, my Enel player decides to swing. So now this changes my whole ideology of how this game's supposed to go, because now I have to think like what cards are in his deck that he feels comfortable to start swinging at me to give me cards at the end of the day. Is he playing 7-cost Enel? Is he playing whatever the reborn card for Enel as well? Like all these are now options that I'm taking into consideration. But he may still also just be playing all those type of starve cards. So when I think about those cards, it takes me a little bit here. Obviously, just throw the 5. There's no reason not to. I don't know what I'm doing the rest of my dawn, but I think just throwing a 5, seeing what he does. If he gives you a card now is almost as good as a card later, in my opinion, in this matchup for that life. And so I'm also thinking in my head while he's thinking is like, I forget what the cost is of the. It's like a mermaid card that puts Burgess to the top or bottom of my life, I believe. I'm getting the cost. I think it's a 6 cost actually. So I'm like, okay, if I play my Burgess here, then my Burgess will at least get to swing before that happens. And if he gets a swing, then he's also just skipping developing on that that next turn, and we can just go from there. And so I'm really thinking like, okay, like what's he gonna do in his 5 Dawn turn? Is he gonna continue to swing at me, or is he just gonna say, yeah, you can have that 1 life? So, but in my opinion, on his end, if you're gonna swing, I think you just keep swinging, man. Like, there's no reason to just give me the 1 life and then not just commit to the game plan. So he's still thinking on his turn. And with Enel has Teach, what I'm really trying to do, trying to find stage, trying to find multiple 10 costs, because what I want to be able to do is get his maximum amount of cards when he's at 1 life. He goes in and throws 5. I'm just going to go and take. It's just, to me, it's free card. Enel doesn't usually apply that much pressure in the mid game that much, to be honest. So I'll take the card now, thinking that like I'll be able to defend later. Here, I still don't find stage, so I'm going to go ahead and think about what I want to do. I know I'm playing Kuzan this turn, and I know right now I'm not really popping my Kuzan off or anything. So I'm under the impression right now that there's a chance that Burgess might get put back in my life, which means I may have 4 life by the time on my next turn. But he doesn't develop, and so I think that's like a fine trade in my opinion at that point. Like that, if he's gonna put my Burgess, I won't develop. But I'm gonna go ahead and swing 5. I think I should be turning him off too. I think against yellow, I think it's just a habit that should be built in. That just go ahead and turn them off to try and make sure there's no on-play effects. I go ahead and pre-play my Lafayette. The reason for that is that if I pre-play Lafayette right now, then on my 8 Dawn turn, I get 6 cards to try and find 7 cost Teach. And if I find 7 cost Teach, then I can basically pop the Kadatsu if I need to, but then I'm going to be able to throw like a 5-5-6 type of line. And I don't want to like play it next turn, tap my Dawn. There's no reason to like push the extra like 6 or 7 to like take a life. I just want cards, because the more cards I get now, the better when I actually get my 10 calls is going to be. He goes ahead and swings 6. I go ahead and counter. Like I said, since he's been playing this aggressive strategy, I'm thinking that it's 7 costs Enel, but he goes in and throws another 6. So now I'm thinking it's just 6 costs. I'm gonna go ahead and take the life. You could say it's dangerous or not. You could say it's dangerous, but I think from here, I feel pretty comfortable. I should be able to pop at least one of the bodies that's happening this turn, and so I'm able to find the auger. So now I have a like a auger, or I have a Kuzan swing, auger, tap for auger, dot Q line, and then that should be. Now I have the board. There's not really a way for him to deal going into 9 Dawn with that, and I should be, since he wants to start establishing bodies, now my 1Ks should be getting good value within the later turns of the game, because he has to, in order to play a big drop, he's not gonna be able to swing that big, and then I can just counter very smallly and stay at 2 life and still feel pretty comfortable going into that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Gonna pop my Kuz. He hits Frankie. Pretty unfortunate. Now it's kind of getting scary. It's getting dicey, and it's just like, even though this is 80-20, like I don't feel totally comfortable with how this game's going so far. Like hitting that trigger means like next turn he can actually like do really heavy swings to try and just put me to 0, and there's a chance I could just lose this game in that way. And it's not me. It's not that I'm getting sacked in my opinion. It's that like the game plan, I'm not adjusted to it, so I'm making a lot more risks than if I actually knew the game plan, then maybe I should be. And so I want to go ahead and get my 7 cost Teach down, just so like if I have to start swinging aggressively, then I can swing with my Teach and my Burgess, and they're pretty big. Going to give him the life back, because in my opinion, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give him the life so I can try and hit him again, so then I can either get him back down to 1, or I can get cards. He goes in swing 7. This is the dangerous part. I'm trying to do the math. I'm like, okay, like it's a 9-9 split. Probably a chance I'm going to 0. And in my head, I'm like, dude, I lost. And I probably should have given him 2-1 here, but I'm kind of scared that if I give him 2-1, then he may just like decide to like swing big at Burgess. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna make you go face. It's fine. And here I'm just gonna go ahead and give him two 2s. He swings 8. And now I'm kind of like, oh, is he just gonna swing 10 at Burgess and just trying to like clean up, or what's his plan? I still don't have a way to like win yet. And he goes and just pushes 9, and I'm like, I don't have counter. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I get Timmy's kick, and think I'm thinking about if I should pop the Shirahoshi. Do I care if he gets a life? And I really don't. I need to clear these bodies. Like, they can't stay. And so I go and give him the life, thinking that if I can just find a blocker with the Lafayette, then I can maybe like survive. I can just give him 1k, and then if he goes to Enel, then I'll just take the block, and then I can rotate with Kuzan. I hit stage, so now I'm like, I think I take stage here. I should be taking stage, because now I can like hopefully filter so I can get to 10 cost. And for here, I don't really want to give him any impressions on the lines I'm going to take. But I think I'm going to go ahead and stage, and I feel like I should just like do my swings a little earlier. Maybe I'm trying to figure out like my full turn first. And I find the blocker, which is like very, very important for me staying alive, because I can't kill him, but they can't really do anything to this blocker at the same time. So I go ahead and turn him off. I think I'm thinking I'm just going to rotate my Kuzan for San Juan Wolf. Again, I don't know if that's actually correct or not. I think maybe I should just summon the San Juan Wolf, push something else, so then if I have to take the block next turn, then I can just rotate my Kuzan for San Juan Wolf again. So now I know, like, for this turn and next turn I'll have 2 blockers, which is like pretty important in me staying alive, especially if I don't find Teach. And I really don't want him to give me cards on this. I actually just want the body gone, so I'm gonna go ahead and just swing 9. I think he ends up giving up the body here, and if he doesn't give up the body, then I'll just do another big swing at it, and then just go tap for Kuzan. So I'll go swing 7, swing 9, swing 7. And if he identifies that like he needs that to win the game, I have 10k in counter right now, and it kind of just gets put on whether or not I get like another 1k off my top card. I go ahead and swing 5, just to like, should be a free life for him. And it's kind of scary, like I said, like now I'm in a position where almost any trigger body kind of like wins. So now it's kind of, I'm getting, not to get lucky, but like, this is why I feel like it's very important to practice your highly favorables. Like, should I even be in this position? If the matchup is that good, should I actually just be in this position at all? But I'm being put in this position because I'm not adjusted to the game plan that he chose to enact. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's always a way for someone to win, and it can be just like an unfamiliarity with the strategy you're implementing. So that's why I really like just playing this card game in general. To be honest, like, this matchup in itself is like pretty favored, but it's fun to find someone who's trying to do something different, to try and find a way to win the game a different way against my deck. And it's better for me now, because now that I'm struggling, I'll say, oh, okay, like this is an option. Once he swings 3, like I have to understand that like he's committed to the bit. Like, he's just gonna try and press my life to 0, which means I may need to guard slightly more aggressively than I did before. Maybe on that turn where he swings 6/6, and I think I took one of the 6s, I should just give him my 2/2Ks and stay at 3 life and try to go from there. He goes and swings 9. I'm going to go ahead and take the block. I have Teach. He's only going to play 1 body, I think. And now I can just go Teach if I really want to, and try and just continue to press life. But it's my only Teach, so I'm kind of also thinking like, and this is where I kind of wish I would have kept my Kuzan. Because if I kept my Kuzan, I probably felt more comfortable just like going swing heavy this turn, search some more counter power, and then play summon Wolf out of life, and then just have the one blocker again, and he can't really do anything about it. But now I have to play my Teach, which means I only play 2 Teach in this list, so I'm using a Teach early. So like if he has Enel on I think if he has Enel on one of these turns, like it just puts me in an awkward position to actually kill him. Because now I'll teach his Enel, and then if he has another Enel, then like I have to just try and kill him. I feel like I have to just try and kill him that next turn, or else the game's just gonna end up going too long. Because now if I don't kill him, he'll just go swing. Both his Enels will get their lives, or one Enel get hit back to 1, and then if he has like another Enel, then it kind of can just spiral out of control. And so this game has been, for me, a good lesson. I want to play against the Starve strategy as well, like the full Starve one where it plays the 6 cost event, because I kind of want to adjust to that as well. He plays Flame Split. I think he misclicked here. I think he just forgot to rest my Burgess on this swing, which I do think is like very important to this turn, because if he rests Burgess, then I'll only be able to I guess I don't know if it works or not actually. Oh no, it's main effect, yeah. I'll only be able to swing 6/8 he may just take a block on one. He'll be at 2 life, and I think that'll just be an opportunity for him to win this game. But instead, he, I guess, forgets that he can tap my Burgess, so I go and press 9. So there's like, you can even say like maybe I should have lost this game. He hits 0 cost off life, I believe, and then gets another life. So you can even say like maybe I should have just lost. And so, but like for me, even if I feel like I should have lost, I'm just trying to incorporate everything into my memory so that I understand if it does happen again, that I can know what I'm looking for. And that's kind of here. He's just like, okay, he's gonna swing 7. I'm gonna just take the block. I don't die to Shirahoshi. He knows I have another 10 cost, so maybe he's just like, hey, I don't win this game if I just continue to try and extend this game any longer. Or if he like goes Enel, he goes back to 2, and I go 10 cost. Maybe he feels like he can't win in that scenario, or he doesn't have enough counter power out the gate to even guard this. I don't actually know. I think for me, if I was him, I would just press the 5 and then summon an L if you have an L and get 2 cards out of my hand. But he decides to just go full 8. I go and just give him counter out for 9, and now I'm looking at my board and just gotta make sure I do my numbers correctly. So I just go ahead and turn off the standing Shirahoshi, and now it's just more about playing around Kapow and things like that. Just go ahead and search, try and filter. So I didn't really look at my grave, so I didn't know if my Burgess could get to 11k or not. I'm thinking about swinging my Burgess first, but I think it's better just to swing the 8. One, it's like if he counters, then maybe I can like swing my Burgess, then try and swing my Teach and try and win that way. But now I'm kind of in a position because he has another 0 cost that I have to like, I feel like I have to chip, and now it's just up to me getting lucky, to be honest. I should probably have done a 5 here too. Should have done 5 before that. But that's just me getting lucky at the end of the day. But like I said, this is just me demonstrating that like even if he has a 20% even if this matchup's like that bad at 8-20, 70-30, whatever you want to call it, he had an opportunity to win this game multiple times, and maybe taking other different chances he would have won. And now this is me playing my unfavorable, which is, even though it's a meta matchup, I like to just have an understanding. I'm gonna be honest, like this matchup I'm still trying to learn on my end. I think it's kind of similar to Bella Betty Zoro with a little splash of Dofi in it, where you really just want to set up the pop aspect of your deck, and then from there you can kind of turn them off on 4, and then from there you can kind of win the board. My only thing that I'm still trying to understand and trying to learn through my testing is whether or not I should be giving them cards. So I go ahead and take Lafitte here. 1, it can like function as a blocker, and then 2, but I really want Dock Q. If I can finally Dock Q on this turn, I feel pretty comfortable, because even if he plays Luffy this next turn where I'm going to turn him off, then I can pop the Luffy, hopefully, maybe find Van Auger, and then I kind of get in a position where if he decides to swing, if he decides he won't swing with his board, but maybe I'll be able to pop the Luffy and he'll only have two weenies on the board, and one of them will trade in my dock, and then the other one, if my dock can function as a blocker, and then if he tries to trade in my Van Auger, if that can also function as a blocker, then I can just maintain cards. But I go ahead and just play Lafitte, hoping that this card can take a hit. And I only play 2 Shiru, which I think is really good in this matchup, so I just go ahead and take my Shiru now instead of taking a Van Auger, and go ahead and just trash it. Now here I'm just thinking, should I swing or not swing? So in this matchup, I think I just decided to swing. I do think with the Rayleigh deck, they always have infinite counter, but I think one of the things that the Teach deck may have the ability to do in this matchup is if it doesn't swing in the early game, then you can almost try and run them out of minions or characters. And so, because the broken thing about the Rayleigh deck is that it rotates all its one drops for other characters. And so here I know Sanji's coming. I'm going to be able to pop the Sanji, which is good. It's another thing, like maybe I don't even need to pop the Sanji, maybe I can just leave it there and keep my Kuzan up. And I try and play like aggro matchups, so I try and just guard as much as I can. So I go ahead and swing 5 on one of the minions, and I go ahead and play my Kuzan. I think I proc Kuzan to summon out Shiru. Shiru popped the Sanji, and I think maybe that's what I'm saying. Like maybe I don't even like proc the Kuzan there, and I just pitch the Van Auger, or pitch the Van Auger, have 2/2s. He probably shoots like 7. if I had to guess, probably like 6-7 or 6-5-7. Try and guard out of both, and then just try and like swing face for 5, pop, which no, I wouldn't be able to pop both. I either get popped I wouldn't be able to pop both though unless he plays another 3-drop, which he does in this scenario. And this card, I'm not gonna lie, the Sanji card in this matchup was popping off because usually you can like run them out of cards, you can like get them low on cards, but the Sanji, because you're just popping their whole board. But seeing all these Sanji, he's able to just keep rotating and finding more cards, so he's not actually losing any hand advantage. But I'm over here pitching 2 cards every turn trying to counter, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like in this game I didn't play it as good as it could have been. I'm kind of scared to do Sage because like if I whiff, which I get really close to, then I'm just losing a card for no reason. When I don't, there's not a card right now that I'm actually like looking for specifically. And I guess this is why they say Rayleigh's like kind of a hard matchup for Teach, because he has so many cards and I have no cards. And so it's like, I have Teach though, so like I'm able to just continuously try and pop the board. I have Lafitte, which I'm basically saying in this turn that I'm taking 2 life. And if he has rushers, I'm probably just going to 1, and then any other game state, I'll probably just be dead in, to be honest. And so I personally just got to practice this matchup more. He goes ahead and shows me 2 events, makes his Boa 5k swinger, and I think, like I said, I'm still trying to work out, trying to understand like maybe there's ways he could have played his side as well. He draws the 3rd Sanji, and I'm pretty sure he's thinking whether I should clear the Shiru or not, or if he just continue to just pressure my face, which if you're playing Rayleigh, I think in this situation you just continue to pressure face. I go ahead and take. He goes in and swings another 7 in my face. I say okay, and now I'm just trying to, I look at my hand and I'm like, okay, I have the ability to clear his whole board, and then I'm going to continue to push damage. And so I guess right here I'm also thinking, do I use all my cards and go Dog Q, Van Augur, Lafitte, and then let Lafitte be on the board and try and generate me more cards? Or do I think I decided to go the other route. I guess I decided to go the other route maybe, and I'm thinking maybe that should have been the route. Or do I need to just go ahead and push 5, push 7, try and see if I can get him to 2, because if I go 5-5, he'll just give me 2 cards and stay at 3 life, and then he'll just try and give himself more turns. But if I go 5-7, then there's a world that I can put him to 2, and if I clear, and since I'll be able to clear the whole board, then there's a chance that like the deck needs to either like make another board, or he has to draw the rush cards. But basically, with the way that the setup that I have, he'll basically just have to say, hey, I have to draw the rush cards, because he can't really play any minions into Dog Q, Van Augur, Teach. That's how I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, right here, if I go Van Augur Teach, if I go Van Augur Dog Q, I at least lock him out of the game of playing any other non-rush minions. But I won't have any cards. And so, but I have a 2k, but 2k is not enough. Like, he'll just do splits. So I'm gonna push to 7. I need to like try and speed up the game on his end, maybe even get 2 cards if I can. But I think part of this game that's kind of rough is that he drew multiple Sanjis. I think being able for him to not actually lose any cards on any of these is really good on his end. Go ahead and keep the blocker, because even though counterpart doesn't really matter at this point anymore. I don't have anything. I don't have enough to like block small swings like that. I don't have cards for that. So if he just is able to establish bodies, he can win in that manner. And now he's just kind of like searching, and he finds the 4 Sanji, but he doesn't hit any rush minions. And I don't know if I check his grave. I don't know if he's on Jinbei or not, but this may be the aspect where like Jinbei is worse than all the other 2 rushers. Yeah, he is. See, it's right there. So he's on Jinbei, which is good for me. That means like basically the deck only plays 4 rushers, and if he's using his 2 rush spots for Jinbei, then he only has 2 real rushers in his deck now. Here he goes pistol. He should have probably popped something else, but he decides that he wants to clear board. I think either way, he's kind of just in a rough scenario if he can't find rushers, because you probably should just push face. But the moment I find Teach here in this situation, and you don't have rushers, then it's kind of just feels awkward. So I already asked him right here. I have a read. I'm like, okay, you don't have any rushers in your hand actually. That you're kind of like fighting for value. So really, probably like a whole bunch of counter power or a whole bunch of one drops, and you're waiting for me to stop using my lead ability so you can start trying to find those rushers or generate other bodies. But I think I could have played this matchup a little bit better. I think the Rayleigh matchup is actually very winnable. Maybe it depends on how many Shiris you play, but in this matchup, I only saw one Shiri and bomb deck the other one. So this is why in other lists I've been going down to one Shiri, because you don't really need how in matchups you don't really need to see it that often, and it can't be the same as like black hole in some scenarios. So like I said, gotta run more games. He leaves on one Dawn. I go in swing 5. There's like I guess 2 ways to play around Conqueror's Hockey. You can either like swing small. You can either like swing small and swing like 5-5-8. But in this situation, it's just better swing 5. It's better to swing 5-5-8 just because he doesn't know if I'm gonna attach more Dawn. So if he Conqueror's Hockey's the first one, then like I do my leader swing first. If he Conqueror's Hockey, I have to leave my Shiru standing, and then I can swing 7 with Teach or decide to pop the Sanji. But I want to end the game. I have to end the game. So I go ahead and just teach him. Even with Conqueror's Hockey, I'm kind of in a good position. I have 2 life. He's not generate. Like I said, he's still like in essence, like what people have been saying is like a Tsukiyomi board, where he's establishing more cards, but I'm not actually in any real threat anymore. He leaves him a lot of Dawn for Conquerors. I think I go ahead and just take Black Vortex here, just have a lot of counter power. So now I should beat Rusher. I can't remember though. And here's situations where I can swing 8 first. I don't really want to though. I'm thinking, okay, like I don't need to kill him. I just need to like not die. I can kill him in the course of like next turn if I just don't die this turn. Die on the clap back. And so I think I just try and throw little small numbers to see if I can get to bait the Conqueror's Hockey. So because if I can just bait the Conqueror's Hockey this turn, then I can for sure kill him next turn. I just focus on clearing the board. So again, I'm able to bait the Conqueror's Hockey. I'm gonna leave up 2 Dawn for Black Vortex just to like have basically 6k with a counter in my hand. Go ahead and teach the Boa, I believe. Like he has 3 cards. I think I kind of want to leave. I kind of thinking about leaving the Sanji because I'm like, well, I don't want to give him more cards. I kind of want to like stop. I kind of want to nip that in the bud, to be honest. Like I don't want to give him more cards, but I don't know what I'm bringing back off my Van Augur. I skipped out on San Juan Wolf, so I think I end up bringing back Burgess because I think I'm just trying to set up lethal from this perspective. So I go pop Kuzan. I get a 2k. So here I'm thinking, okay, I can pop the Nami, it doesn't matter to me if I pop the Sanji or the Boa. I think making sure he has less numbers to kill me is more important, so I think I end up popping the Sanji now. Oh, I popped the Boa. I was wrong. So I basically identified, hey, you currently can't beat. You don't have enough swings. I'll just go double Caribou, and he scoops here. And that is the Rayleigh matchup. Like I said, I'm still testing. I'm still trying to learn it. There's a world where I just sit there and starve at the beginning, obtain the board from him, and then from there, because towards the middle of the game, I just got the board. But there are games because like I want to say like they're playing almost 4, 8, 12, probably like 16 or 17 events where you can like maybe starve in the early game, let them play with less cards, so that if they have to reveal 2 events, then you know that they're playing with probably half their hand is events at that point in time. And so if you just out the board, then there's no way for them to generate more cards. So now every time they can't make another board, then you just are able to push life, and now they're kind of in a bad position, and you can just play like you normally play versus other aggro decks. So I will be testing that going forward. Like I said, just to show y'all a sneak peek of what the list that I've been testing a lot now. I have been testing the list that I just showed you, but another list I'm kind of trying to test around with is, I believe it's this one. It is cutting out little boons, putting back in 2 Kuzans, putting in 1 Shiru, and then putting in 1 Black Hole. And this is kind of like more of a, to me, and going up to 3 Teach. And this is kind of just more of a response to Shanks and Bonnie becoming more popular, possibly in the meta. I think if those two decks are back into popularity, I think 3 Teach is, I think in my opinion at that point, almost mandatory. Because in those matchups, especially the Bonnie matchup, you can do like a Storm or Teach, and if you only play 2 Teach, and for any instance you put one in your life, or you can't find them, then I think that's ways the Bonnie deck can like kind of sneak by and steal games from you. And then I think 6 cost Kuzan really shines versus Rayleigh and Zoro on your third turn, because it's basically a blocker plus getting back 5 cost Kuzan, and that kind of sets you up really well into your Teach board. But again, thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll continue to make videos, and looking forward to do more Teach content. I will try and take time to make other leaders deck lists, and from there we'll just keep going. I appreciate the support. Peace.